Dr. Julie Holland. I've been meaning to write this since I first saw you on the episode of The Doctors, where you had treated uh, a young lady with MDMA. As I watched it and I saw the actual session, there was a part where it showed right into her eyes, and there was something there. It was like a wonderment or an illumination or some sort of understanding that hit me straight to my soul. Because I remember that feeling. I used to experiment and um, was probably more responsible for turning on people to LSD and psychedelics in the city of Hawthorne circa 1969 than anyone else. But then I went into the computer business, had a family, um, started my own company, and then even before the housing thing got going, I was one of the first victims by AmeriQuest into a bad loan. But then, while I was in bankruptcy protection, the scoundrels, Auckland to be specific, and their backers, Chase, sold my home while I was protected by the bankruptcy stay. My lawyer, I guess he talked to them and said, "Oh yeah, we're taking care of everything." They did nothing. Legally, you have to record this stuff, and we didn't. I didn't find that out until 18 months later, and I couldn't refinance the house of 26 years. My home-based business, residential fire sprinklers, went out of business within a month or two. But I was not worried because I knew the law is on my side. They will straighten this out. Ha! Well, that's what I've thought for 15 years now, with no luck. So when I saw whatever that girl's name was, pardon me for not knowing that, I saw something universal. I think just within every living person. Excuse me for being so emotional. Um, I've been drinking alcohol too today. But I saw in her uh, like a universal love just radiating from her eyes. An understanding that all of this is a bunch of nonsense and that all we really have is life. 30 or 40 years ago, I saw it like this. As human beings, with our language, we're like a bunch of dogs barking at each other. And it really doesn't matter if all they do is bark. But if they start biting, you have to separate. And now it turns out that that's like on a global thing. What are we going to do with all this war and hatred going on? maybe the poet uh, Allen Ginsberg, after taking psychedelic drugs, came back and said, "We must have Kennedy and Khrushchev, you know, drop acid or something." And Allen may be right. Anyways, the whole purpose of this, and I know I'm running long. Oh goodness, over 5 minutes. Is if you know of any experimental or any kind of above the table or below the table experiments, because I think a couple of good, mind expanding experiences, I'd be off all of these psychiatric drugs, etc., etc. I mean, I've went through the whole thing, you name it, I've tried it. And I'm sure you've heard that before. So anyways, love and peace. If you can help me out, I'd love it. If not, God bless you and keep up the good work. Well,